Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're in Cold Spring at
Coldspring Campground in Manning Provincial Park.
What he said.
All right, ready? In 3,
I thought that was good.
2.
We're at Cold Spring Campground in Manning Provincial Park.
Let's check it out. So Cold Spring Campground is the first campground that you're going to encounter if you're coming from the Vancouver Hope side. So it's basically on the west side of the park, and once you get here and you're situated, there's not a lot of activities in the campground itself, but you've got all of Manning Park to explore. And Manning Park is massive. So you can go up to the Lightning Lake area, all sorts of trails, all sorts of paths. You can drive up to the Cascade Lookout. We did that and it was absolutely beautiful. There's trails up there too. The Cascade Lookout is a must-stop attraction about a half hour up from the campground. Yeah, it was a pretty good drive up here. Not a huge wide road, but you know, well paved. Not at all difficult to come up. Any kind of vehicle could get here.
Oh, you're so cute. I don't have any food for you. But you... Oh, he nibbled me.
If you drive another 10 minutes, you get to the Alpine Meadows, which is the trailhead for the Paintbrush Nature Trail Loop.
If you come up here, bring bug spray. The mosquitoes are really, really thick.
There's a couple of steep edges on this trail. If you want to stop for lunch on the Paintbrush Trail, they got lots of picnic tables. So the Paintbrush Trail, nice easy walk. Tons of mosquitoes, so just like coat yourself in DEET before you walk this trail. Otherwise you're gonna get eaten alive. I've gotten a couple bites, Mel's gotten lots of bites. So beautiful scenery, nice alpine meadows and flowers, but boy, there are mosquitoes.
So when you arrive and you come off the highway, immediately after, you'll come in and there's an information hut. So just like a lot of the BC parks that we've been to, it's similar protocol. Show up, stop at the hut, check for any instructions on reserved sites versus not reserved sites, and how to check in. If you are reserved already, you have your confirmation letter, you stick that on the post and you claim your site. If you're coming on first come, first serve, which there are some sites here that are, which is how we came on this trip, you basically show up, you pick a site that does not have a reserved tag, and as long as it's empty. One of the nice things at this information board that we found also is they have a map of the campground, which is really helpful. It'll show you where all of the 66 sites are, and kind of as well as the bathrooms and where the garbage facilities are. And then any other additional information you might need to know. So right now there is a campfire ban in effect. So any information about that will be here. Anyone who's checking in, so if you're coming first come, first serve, you can check to see which sites are already arriving today, so you'll know, just don't even go there. And just other information like that there's a bear in the area, so just be bear aware. Generator hours, country store, which is down the road. The other thing right here is just beside the hut, there are some picnic tables. So a little bit of a day use area. It's right along the creek there. So you can have a picnic if you don't end up getting a site near the river and you want to be near the river, come on over here. They have outhouses, garbage, recycling. They stink a bit. They have 2 water pumps in the park that you can come and get water. One.
Or not.
Ooh, you gotta pump it hard, apparently. This one is somewhere around site 25, 26, and then the other one is all the way back at the entrance. Now, one thing to note is there is a boil water notification. They have been kind enough to put a sign near it, just to remind you, boil water for about 1 minute before using it. So there you have it. Oh! It takes a while, I guess. Now
I hear it.
Oh, there we go. There you go.
Cool.
It's not hard. It just takes a little, you know, a few pumps. It's like old-fashioned.
This is actually a pretty good campground just to be your home base for when you're visiting the park. Mel just said this is like one of the best information boards that we've been at, so kudos on the information board. So Manning actually runs a bunch of programs in the summer. For instance, a wildflower walk, you know, the fungus among us. So for adults and children, learn to fish. That's this here. So program for kids 5 to 15. I mean, Mel and I should really take that. We don't know how to fish. Yeah, they even give you a little bit of information on what to do if you encounter a bear. So that's good if people have never encountered a bear before or don't know. Services. There is actually a Santa station that is just by the lodge, close to the visitor center actually. There's a boat launch at Lightning Lake if you got a boat. There's a little country store at the Manning Park Resort. We went in there. I mean, it's basically a convenience store, but nice if you forgot something. Laundromat, but you have to go all the way back to Hope.
Or Princeton.
Yeah. Manning Park is actually pretty remote, so do make sure that you have everything you need, including a full tank of gas, because you're basically halfway between Hope and Princeton, so you're a good 100 and some odd. Although this I didn't know, so again, the info sign is good. There is actually a fuel station 16 kilometers east of the park, and I didn't think there was one until Princeton, so that's helpful at least. But yeah, make sure you have everything you need. We actually forgot cat litter this time. There is literally nowhere besides like going back to Hope for cat litter, so we kind of had to improvise on that. Another thing about the park is that it is really, really dark at night. It's actually part of the Dark Skies program, and you can see so many stars at night. We actually saw some. We'll probably put up some clips of some of the pictures that I got. They rent telescopes, and that's really cool. You just go to the lodge. I think it's $7, and you just have to put down like a credit card, you know, as a deposit. And we got one of those, and that was also pretty cool too. During the day, the Canyon Nature Trail is a great walk you can do right from your campsite. So one not so great thing about this campground is that a number of the sites are pretty close to the road, and there's some big trucks that come through.
Yeah, it's a highway.
Yeah, sometimes with their engine brakes, so it can be a bit noisy.
Yeah.
But there are some sites that are further from the road, and we're going to tell you which ones. You should also note that the first come, first serve sites are mostly the ones by the highway, the noisier ones, where the reservable sites are the ones that are kind of further back and by the river, and kind of the nicer ones. So what are the best sites in this campground? We have just entered right now, so we're right near like 1, 2, 3, and I would say that some of these sites are actually really nice. They're down by the river, they're far enough from the road that you can't quite hear the same kind of noise as some of the other ones.
There's lots of trees around these sites, these initial few sites, so it's like
yeah,
shaded for a sunny day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 4 here is a really good example of a good site near the river. You can see it's a good size. There's lots of nice trees, and so it's nice and shaded for a hot summer day. You've got probably little paths down here to the creek, and because of all the trees around, it helps block a little bit of that highway noise. So then once you get to about site number 11 or so, the sites become a little more open. There's less tree coverage, so just be prepared if it's a hot, sunny summer day. You want your awning out or some kind of shade creating device. But the ones on the right side, so like 11, 12, what's the next one up here, like 15 or so, those ones are all still along the creek. But again, all reservable and all very popular. One thing we've noticed is most of the sites along the creek, of course, are the most popular. They have been taken. The ones on the other side, so like the 50s and 60s, those are less popular. There's hardly anyone in those right now. and they basically back right onto the highway, so you get a lot more road noise. Definitely, if you're coming to Manning Park to go camping, bring bug spray. We've probably already said it a couple of times. We can't emphasize it enough. The mosquitoes, they're thick. The best sites, if you have a small pop-up trailer or a small enclosed trailer, or if you're coming with tents, are sites 27 to 47 down this little road. Now you'll notice there's no exit down here and there's only a small turnaround. So we wouldn't take our 25-foot trailer down there, but something like a teardrop or a van or whatever, we've seen a few of those down there. It's nice and treed in. It's probably the furthest from the road, and they've got creek access, and the trail that will take you to Lightning Lakes area and the lodge and everything is all right at the end of this road. So it's perfect.
One thing to note, if you're coming with friends, there are only 2 double sites in the entire park. 6-7 and the one we took, 21-22, which we really like.
And we're here camping with the Chris and Emily show.
So if you're looking for a nice campground with easy access to all that Manning Park has to offer, definitely check out the Coldspring Campground.
Facing the road. Okay. Ready? Okay. And go on in. The other... Oh, I got it!
You should also note that the... What was I going to say?
We're at the Looky-Loo Outlook. Outlook? We're at a lookout. Make sure you don't miss the next video by liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.